Hi, this is Colton from WhiplashPC.com. Today we have the In Win BUC 101 case. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and see what we have. This is the In Win BUC 101. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Alright, so starting off, we have a manual here. It comes with the case, and it will basically show us how to install the motherboard, how to take off the clips to open the case. It shows you demonstrations like that. Pretty high quality. Basically, it shows you how to clean your power supply's fan filter on the bottom of the case and the top of the case. Over here, it just goes to some more demonstrations of how to plug in the Molex connector, basically what the case is capable of, which way the fan speed's blowing, it looks like, and the magnetic air filter. So let's go ahead and see what else we have here. And up here, it looks like we have the one plate, the back of the case. In here we have, looks like the motherboard mounting screws or HDD screws, so that'd be hard drive screw pads. These would make it to where your hard drive is capable of going into the little holders. I'll get into that in a few minutes here. We have another fan connector to Molex, another fan connector to Molex, so two of those. We have the motherboard and standoff screws here. In here we have the HDD screws, so I guess there's some more hard drive screws. These are the 2.5, so these might actually be a floppy, or if your hard drive has a little hole pattern, that would do it. We have wire ties and a speaker in there. That's to make, if your motherboard has a speaker spot, which most of them do, if your motherboard's malfunctioning, it'll usually beep a certain amount of times, and from that you'll be able to tell what's wrong with it. So this is completely optional, you don't need that, but they do bring it along just in case you wanted it. Let's go ahead and see what the case looks like. Okay, so we got the front of the case here. This is the In Win 101 BUC case, as I said before. Up here we have the audio jack, which is the green one, the red port, and it's kind of pink, but it's the microphone jack. We have two USB 2.0s there. This up here, it says push. You push that in, pops out. You can put a floppy drive in there, or if you have a removable SSD or removable hard drive that's littler, you can take that, put that in there, pop it in, out. You won't really notice it. We have a reset switch right here, a power switch right here, an In Win sticker there, and this is kind of a little new design they're using. It's kind of like downward design where they stick out a little bit from each other, I should say. Overall, it looks really nice, and you're looking at it dead on because it gives it a little scale effect there. Down here, this is also a removable fan filter. From here, you can take the fan filter out of it. Pops off with these two little clips here. I don't really need to necessarily take it off because it looks like it's going to require a little bit of power, and holding the camera at the same time I'm not able to do it. But as you can see, it's a nice looking case. It's kind of made of completely plastic, so I'm not going to say it's the best built case because it does feel cheaper, I'm not going to lie, but overall it is a nice looking case. This is the front of the case, as I said before. I'm going to go ahead and show you the top of it. So just an overview, reset button, power button. I'm not sure if these will light up. I think this is a light here, so that should light up when it's thinking. And I think that's a power light, so it should light up when it's on. Overall, that's the front, so let's see what we got. This is the bottom of the case right here. This is completely the bottom. This is completely removable. This is a fan filter for the power supply. As you can see, it slides out down there, so you're going to push it out and it slides straight out. You can clean it, put it back in. Voila, your power supply has a clean fan. Overall, this is just the bottom of the case here, not really anything special, so we'll go ahead and show you the top of it. The top of the case says In Win. It has a little holder area here for a hard drive. You're able to plug it directly in there through the SATA port, which I believe will pop off here. Let's see. Yep, it has a little button up here that I just pressed. Press that, shut it off, and that's where it's going to plug in. Pretty cool looking, and I believe it will just pop right back on, hopefully. Yep, pops right back on, and I'll show you again for demonstration purposes. Woohoo. Don't hurt yourself, kids. Alright, on we go. I'll just keep that there for now. USB 3.0 port here. It hides, so that way if you don't have the spots on your motherboard, I'll show you that in a second. It's a little cable. And if you don't have it, you can go ahead and just hide it, so it doesn't really stand out like some of the other cases. I know I did a review on the In Win Dragon Rider White Special Edition case, and that kind of had that issue. This is a spot here. It's a little area, as you can kind of see. It pops off. There's a fan filter there. You can pop it back on and off. But overall, that's the In Win BUC case. Let's go ahead and give you an inside view. This is the very top of it, and that goes back on as you've seen before. This is a little mat here. Let me take that out quick so you can kind of get a general view of it. It's kind of in there. I don't want to wreck it. But this little mat that pops out, I don't want to wreck it, so I'll just keep it in for now. This is the back side of the IN WIN BUC case, 101. Has the little prongs here. I'll get to that on the other side. Other than that, this is the back side of the case. This is the back side of the case. It has 2 ports here for water cooling, if need be. You have a Q-shield spot here for your motherboard, and that should come with it. This will be the fan that goes. You can put a sticker there if you wanted to. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 expansion ports on this case. That's where the power supply is going to go, obviously. That's about it for the back. This is the side of the case here, as you can kind of see. It's pretty much plain to see. It's got a little filter here. Not sure how that... I guess it's magnetic. I've never seen anything like this before. It's got little magnetic strips here, if you can see it. This will go on, and it's pretty much a filter. So you can take it off, clean it off when it gets clogged up, and put it back on. That's a pretty nice design. I have yet to see that on any cases out there so far. So it's kind of nice to see something new and innovative. Let's go ahead and give you the view of the back side of the case and the front side, or the top. Inside of the case here now, let's see. We have the USB 3.0 port. If you remember me talking about this earlier, I told you if your motherboard doesn't have a spot, you could hide that little area on your case. Well, this is what I was talking about. This is a newer design, and not all motherboards have it, especially if you're using an old X58 board. If you're using a new Sandy Bridge or AM3, there's a good chance that your motherboard might have it, but just in case, you don't need it, so technically this could be garbage if you don't have it. So it's nice if you do, bad if you don't, but it's not the end of the world. Either way, it's just USB 3.0, and usually if you have a USB 3.0 motherboard, you have ports on the back, so just because you don't have them on the top of your case doesn't mean it's the end of the world. You have a USB port here for standard USB 2.0s. This will go on the front of the case. And we have the HD audio. This will be all your power LED, reset switch, anything like that. We had the Molex, not Molex connector. This is your fan connector. This will be 3-pin to your motherboard. Another 3-pin to the motherboard fan connector here for the top fan. There's a front fan in this area. Actually, I can try to show you that. See it up there? I'm trying to hold the camera still as much as possible so you don't get motion sick. And we have another 3-pin connector there to the motherboard. And like I said before, they come with the little adapters in case your motherboard doesn't have that many spots. Those are what the adapters are that I showed you earlier that go to Molex. So it's not the end of the world. This supports micro ATX and mid-range ATX boards. It doesn't support the full tower ATX boards that I'm aware of. And that's where your power supply is going to go, motherboard. Basically, we have the lock-on CD-ROM trays up here. You're going to put your CD-ROM in, and once it's in, you just push down. It's locked in. You're good to go. Over here, I'll show you the hard drive trays here quick. They're completely real bright yellow, almost green. They have the small holes there. There's going to be those little cushion things that I showed you earlier. I'm going to put those on there. I'm going to slide it straight forward. You'll lock it in, and you can just shove it straight back down. You'll be good to go. This thing locks in pretty solid once it's in there. It's not going to go anywhere. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And up here, you have another spot where you could probably put one. And we have the CD-ROM trays there. Overall, it's a good case. It's a little cheaper than I'd like, being from IN WIN. I expect a little higher quality. I'm not saying that this case is cheap. It's not cheap at all. It's very nice. But on the other hand, there is a lot of plastic that makes it appear cheap. And that's kind of where I'm not really liking the case. Overall, though, the case it does have some new features I'd like to point out. And that's the screen guard on the side that's magnetic. The new scaling option on the front where it's kind of a little downward tint to it. Overall, it's a good case by the looks of it. I'm going to go ahead and build it up. We'll see what we have here. I probably won't have a video of it being built because it's going to be at a time later than this video is being filmed. But I'll post in the description below of how I like this case and what are the pros and cons. If you have any questions, I'd appreciate it if you'd write in the comment section below and I'll get back with you.